Hello, hello, hello. I know you can't see my face, but I'll get on pretty soon. Maybe they're playing music. I don't know. Let's just wait. Hi there, welcome to another episode of Whimsical Wednesdays with Chloe Ariell. Hi Terry in the chat. We've been chatting about dolls. She's a doll lady. Rainbow Flame was said hi. How are you? Hi Rachel Kyle. All the, steadfast, loyal subscribers. Hello ladies. Blessings to both. A huge production, big dogs, chicken, little dog treats, toilet drink. Yes, it is a Sunday here, Sunday morning. You're in Australia too, I think. Yeah. So I was just chatting to Terry about Fimo Clay. He's really interested in my dolls. They're gathering. We're getting more and more. But Fimo Clay, Terry, is like how you do the faces of dolls, right? So you get to like make it like a real caricature. So exemplifying like certain characteristics of like if you wanted to make like a witch or a fairy, you do the nose, you do the sort of, whole thing. And they're really fun. So that's the idea. Modelling clay. Yes, that's what it is. Cool. So we're just waiting for Robert. He's running a little bit late, and that's okay. Maybe you guys can give me some ideas about what to ask him before he comes on. Quick. Guys. I'm just, I've got a few things. I'm just like I'm only new to the whole, interviewing people thing. So, what is it? Chins and warts. Yes. Hi, Manny. Blessings 888. Hi. I can't see those other comments. Maybe they're on a different one. Maybe they're on Rumble. I tried Rumble. I'm not sure if it's on or not. How are you seeing that, Rachel? Oh, 888. Everyone's saying that. I can't see those comments. Must be on Facebook. Dear. This is why I'm getting Rob on, actually. He's going to help me with a few things. If anyone wants a consultation with Rob, I think it's a really good idea because he's been doing, podcasts for a really long time. So I've got Whimsical Wednesdays with Robert Khalil, but, we're waiting. It is Saturday night there for him. So, yeah, don't mind me. I've just got my cup. I'm going to drink some water. But guys, is there any questions that you want me to ask him before he gets on? All right, put something in the questions or the comments there. Like a question. If you can't think of any, don't worry, it will naturally happen anyway. So that'd be good. Yeah, see, the whole point of me doing these dolls is to try and come up with a different enterprise idea. Creative. I'm like, what am I now? I'm a creative arts teacher. That's my angle now, because I was an art therapist, but because I didn't do the extra master's degree, that's going to cost me $27,000, right? Which is ridiculous. I can't be a registered, whatchamacallit, even though I did it for over, I don't know, I think about 6 or 7 years. Yeah, so I know what I'm doing in that arena, but I just feel like it's ridiculous. Chloe, could I be a biatch? 888 instead of 8XXX. Really? Hi, Jason. Missing time. Good video, by the way. That was good. The melting UFOs. I really like that. Actually, I was wondering if that was at Mount Kilauea or not. Interesting, hey? Ask him how is connecting with Earth going. What do you mean by that? I'm just going to put that down and we'll see what he actually comments about that, because it doesn't matter what the question is. It depends, it's like, what are you going to come up with? How is connecting with Earth? Beautiful. Let's just wait before he comes on. Okay. Ada upright infinity, as well as being a powerful master number. Thank you. I feel like that's like protection and like bringing in some good energy, right? You know what, guys? I'm going to get you guys someone's going to come on, one of you people is going to come on my show for sure. Yeah, actually, maybe I'll interview all of you because it's all about the people, right? You know what I mean? It's not about us elevating people into celebrity status. We're all a community, you know. X never sat well as kisses. Yeah, it's weird. Hi, Jason. Hello, Jason. Hey, da-da-da-da-da. With what archetype does Rob resonate most all the time and in the now? Okay, that's a good one. What archetype? Did Rachel write how was connecting with Earth? Okay, I like that. And then I'm going to write this down. Hang on. Archetype. He's going to come in soon. He's here. Shh, quick. Okay. Most of the time. Okay, and then I'll get to the next question. Why did... Oh no, he's gone. He wasn't there. Now he has to go and come back. I think his video wasn't working. He'll come back while he's gone. Why did Rob start the call? Why did Rob start the podcast? Okay. And topics he won't do. Okay. Topics he won't do interviews on. Thanks, guys. This is so good. Skip about 5 minutes, whoever's watching. We got to 6:42. I hope you feel better soon. Oh. How is connection with Earth is going? I am sorry. Autocorrect is the worst and my English also. So what were you trying to write? I don't mind that, actually. Depends on how they answer, you know. I have the innate ability for upsetting people in chats of late. Okay, I'm coming on now, right? Not sure why. Anyhow, can I please ask that you move your blinking lights? I have to tape over the light. It triggers in my brain. I am so sorry. I did not know. But they're kind of in the background. They're kind of cool, don't you think? Okay, look. Is that better? Is that better? Has fun, Rachel. I understand that, but it's a little bit dark now. If I have the lights that are not blinking, let me go. They're sort of moving like that. It's still triggering, but like that. Iron Bear's here. Hey. What's up, everyone? Just saw this was live. Lifting weights while listening. Sucks after mowing front yard. Really? Hi, Iron Bear. That's cool. We're still waiting for Rob to come in. He's gone in and out a few times. Maybe he thinks we're... Okay, so we've got audience questions. All right, thanks, guys, for that. And Arno, I have no idea. If it was spell checked with how it's connecting with Earth, what would you like to write? Is this better or not? It's still blinking, right? So sorry. Is that better? Thank you. She has to tape over it. I don't want them blinking. I don't think there's an option. It's so that they go slowly in and out. Maybe that... is that... Okay, if there's someone Rob won't interview again, I don't know if he's going to answer that. Because he's kind of probably not wanting to, like, stir things. What I like about Rob, he doesn't stir crap. He tries to keep neutral. He doesn't get involved in the sort of, like... You know, with groups, there's always like backstabbing and people saying things instead of going straight to the horse's mouth. We're all about unity consciousness, right? So whether he answers that, I can always ask, but whether he answers that, you will ask super good questions yourself, Chloe. You didn't even need us for questions. No, but I like it. I like including you guys. You know what I mean? Is there... I'll put it there, Terry, but I'm not sure. Is there someone... Yeah, because maybe he does have someone that he won't interview again, but he won't say it. I bet you won't say it. Are you watching, Rob? Secretly before we get on. If Rob did a podcast, what would he do? Okay, enough questions. What are the biggest things holding up ufology? What are the biggest... Here he is. He's coming in again. Up ufology. Okay, that's enough of the questions. I'll get back and have a look if I need. How is it connect? Okay. All right, here we go. Add to stage. Hi, Rob.
Hey, what's going on?
Welcome to Whimsical Wednesdays.
Are you already
Did
live?
you? Yeah, I am live. I just got
Oh,
on.
nice. What's
Yeah,
going
because I
on?
had
How's
so
it
many.
going?
Yeah, good. I had so many people coming through the comments that I thought, oh my god, I have to go live. Yeah, because it premiered. Anyway, welcome to my show. This is a bit weird. I'm interviewing you. It's usually the other way around,
It's
but
all good.
yeah. Well, you've got the UFO. We've got UFOs above our heads, like giving us some inspiration. This is my image. You like it in the background? It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
went to an Italian festival today in my
yeah,
hometown,
yeah.
because
You
like I
said,
don't know. It was like I needed like a couple days off, so I've been taking
yeah,
more time off. I've been posting old episodes and I've been kind of just
yeah. I
like,
saw that.
you know, I don't know.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you did that because you need balance, you know what I mean? And that's fair
Yeah.
enough. I feel like you've inspired a whole bunch of people to like start their own things now. I feel like I did the same on my previous show because all the people that were watching me on my previous show have now got little shows themselves, like TKB and Matt and a few other people from Australia. It's like, well, just an everyday gal who does a bit of telepathy is a bit different, is coming on and doing her own thing. Anyway,
Mhm.
should I read your bio out for people who are coming in and don't know you in my...
Sure.
Welcome this is a bit, I've always find this part so a bit robotic, but I'll do it because I got it off Chat GPT because you didn't give me the bio, so I'm just gonna, all right. Let's see what Chat GPT says. Welcome everyone to another episode of Chloe Ariell's Whimsical Wednesdays. I'm your host, Chloe Ariell, and today we're joined by Robert Khalil, who's exploring some of the world's greatest mysteries. My guest, Robert, is a researcher, author, filmmaker, and frequent guest on the Typical podcast, his own show, yeah. Robert is well known for his work on ancient civilizations, hidden history, esoteric traditions, lost knowledge, and the mysteries surrounding our origins. Through his documentaries, have you got any documentaries?
No, I don't know what.
Sorry, I just think it's funny because I thought so too. I was like, what did I miss out on? And it's like,
I'm not an author either. Well, I mean, I did kind of write one book about alien abduction for Christmas. It's like but I never really published it. I just put it out for free,
Alien abduction for Christmas. Oh, wow, that would have been interesting.
Yeah, it's called my Christmas Eve alien abduction. I think I still have the what do you call it? The manuscript, I'm gonna I'll put it out every year for Christmas, I think.
Okay, forget about this AI bloody ChatGPT thing. Let's get into this, right? What do you mean? Is it your abduction experience or other people's?
It was based loosely on an experience that I had, and then I used ChatGPT to help me like write the rest, like and just like fill in stuff, and it ended up being like a really funny, like
Really?
yeah, it's really cool. Like I like it a lot.
Tell me about this abduction experience because I haven't heard it, and I've watched a lot of your shows, right? And maybe it was way back in time. Chloe, turn down the background music. Oh no, hang on. I've got background music on apparently. Let me go in. Right, sorry guys.
Okay, yeah, I'll tell you. I'll wait till you turn the music down.
Can you actually? Could you actually hear that music playing?
Yeah, it was pretty loud. Yeah,
Oh,
I felt like we were in a rave. You know what I mean? I was about to get out my glow sticks and start jamming. You know what I mean?
That would have been all right. Actually, I thought to have some music on in the background. I am so sorry, guys. See this? I'm new at this. Bear with me. All right. I'm just having a go. Okay, where were we? Yes.
So it wasn't really. It was based on an experience that I had, but I'm not sure what happened. So what happened? I still have it on my phone. So what happened was one night I went to bed at this was like New Year's Eve. I think it was New Year's Eve of 2024. And when I woke up, my step counter was like at 100 million steps. Like it said, it said I traveled like 60,000 miles and I was going 5,000 miles per hour. Like,
and I
was like,
I do remember that.
I was like, what happened? And then I traced other weird stuff to that night too. So like, I kind of just like started like thinking, I was like, well, what if I got abducted? I don't know. But I mean, I don't know. I can't say I did or didn't for sure. I don't have any tangible evidence.
Well, that's actually, to me, that's tangible evidence that you've got. So you've got a tracker I mean, you could actually ring up the manufacturer and say, is there any way that this tracker could not track the right thing? Is there some sort of way? Do you know what I mean? Because there's evidence every time, in my experience, right? You could tell me if I'm wrong. When I've tried to get evidence for certain targeting things, and in the past, I've been met with counter. I've actually had someone drive up to my ex, roll down it in a black Jeep, and roll down the window and actually threaten him because he had the court evidence of us being targeted on an aeroplane by
Whoa, that's
certain
crazy.
faction. Yeah, so that happened in March of this year, where I actually wrote to him and said, I actually want evidence of that experience of targeting, and you've got the court documents, right? That guy didn't turn up to court. He tried mid-flight to basically have an altercation with my ex on the flight. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was crazy because we tried to get evidence of it. I got threatened. Yeah, in March. So many
Yeah.
things, right?
Wow,
People don't
that's
realize like how on the edge we are, the cusp of, there's a lot of secrets, a lot of information. There's a lot of people that want to still keep it secret, right? I went to the audience already, and I said, okay, what should I ask Rob, right? And I don't know if we should go into the audience questions
no,
first.
go ahead. I love it. They're because a lot of the same people watch that you watch me, so they know me. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right. We got Jason, we got Terry, we got Rachel, we got a few people that also watch your show. I don't know what Arno was trying to ask, Rainbow Flame Wizard.
Yeah,
Is
he's
like,
cool. I
how,
like Ono. Yeah.
yeah, well, he's asking, how is connecting with Earth? But he says it's a spell check, so I don't really understand. So I'm just going to ask you, how is connecting with Earth, Rob?
Well, I mean, I kind of connect with Earth every day. I go on like long
Yeah,
walks every day, and like, I do grounding
yeah,
stuff too. I do that, but
yeah.
like, I don't. It's not like, I'm not like go outside like hugging trees and stuff like that. I mean, I probably should, but I'll stand up next to a tree, sometimes. But I mean, like mostly,
Yeah,
I'm just like, I don't know. Yeah, like I like being outside though. Like I need to be outside. I'm trying to be outside more. I'm trying to put as much effort into working out as I do with my podcast. I'm trying to do like an even split
yeah,
now. But like
yeah,
I'll
it's
tell you
really
what,
good.
I went off the fucking rails today. I'm not gonna lie. I went off the fucking rails. Like because like
Yeah,
my friend called me and he said, "Do you want to go to this Italian festival?" And
yeah,
I know they're gonna have good food. And I was like, fuck. And then when I got
yeah.
there, I hadn't eaten anything. I was like fucking starving, excuse my language. And
It's
like,
okay.
so like I got a sandwich, then I got a piece of pizza, and then they had fresh cannolis. You know what cannolis are?
Yeah,
Oh,
yum.
I mean, it's not good for you, but it's so good. It's the best food.
Cheese
And
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 tomato, and yeah,
these are all like all this food was made like, but the hearts of loving Italian women that just like want to like
yeah,
just want to make you
yum.
happy with their food. You know what I mean? Like they just want to
Yeah,
take to church. You know what I mean? So it's like
yeah.
it was hilarious. It's hilarious in a way, to be honest with you. It's like it's that was where I did not need to be, but like in a way, it made me so happy. You know what I mean?
Well, did you get filled up with love? Like everything holds frequency, right? So you've got the love of the nonnas there and in the food, and that's got to fill you up. So,
Well, it
right.
was weird. I would be honest, like I'm not to get like sentimental, but like I had this moment. They had these like women there and they were like singing in Italian. And it's been like such
Yeah,
a big part of like my life. And then I was like something like went over me and I was like, fuck, I was like, I'm 46 years old. My life isn't going the way it was. I don't know if I'm having like a midlife crisis or what, but I started
probably.
crying at this place. Like I did
Yeah,
this festival. I don't know. I just like my friend didn't say. I just was like, I don't know why or what. Nothing made sense at that point. I was just like, and then
yeah.
then I kind of came back to reality, you know.
Well,
So it was.
you were touched. I think you were touched by the sacred feminine. All the women were singing, and it's like it's beautiful. It's nurturing. It's love. Yeah.
Yeah,
And when it has been a bit hard, like you've had to sort of strike a real balance in your life just recently, because it's been this sort of motivating, driving force, I believe. You could tell me if I'm wrong, that to do podcast after podcast after podcast, it's like, what is that driving force behind you? What
yeah.
has it been? Is it like I remember you saying years ago, it's like a fear that I'm not going to be around forever. It's like I've got to get all this stuff out,
Yeah, that's one of
podcast
them,
stuff.
and, I'm worried about
Yeah.
that. No, I mean, like, I don't have any, I haven't got any news that I'm gonna, I mean, but I just, like, I don't know. No, that is it. That's part of it. And,
Yeah.
and then, just, and the other part is just like, I want to, be successful at some point, I mean, I don't know. So it's just like, I just don't think I'm going about the right way of doing it. I don't think doing all these podcasts a day is like going to benefit
Yeah.
me. It's not.
Not health wise, but you've been striking a balance. You've been walking a lot more, and now you went to a festival. It's just about having balance in your life.
Yeah.
But I wonder, now that we're talking about it, right? Would you think that that's some sort of Amiga programming? That it's like push, push, push? Because there is or can be some subconscious drivers. Most of
Yeah.
us are running on subconscious programming, right? It's
Yeah.
come from our family system, our social reality, our school, our friends. We get impression and we're influenced by things in the past, right?
Yeah. It could be, right. You have a good point.
Yeah,
I never
yeah.
thought about that.
I do go deep.
Yeah.
We go
Yeah. I
deep, you
mean,
decide.
yeah,
But,
but
yeah.
but no, I don't know. Like, I mean, like, I don't know, like, what I don't know what I've been involved in or anything. I don't have any memories of
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah,
I
nor do
wish I
I.
did.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
do some. Yeah. I have some memories, but I don't, it's not like all laid out like some people have like total recall in our community.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, there's no way. I have snippets of things. Like for me, it's been the ET experience with non-human intelligence. I've had visitations, I've had the markings on me.
Yeah.
I completely, they have absolutely an incredible technology to mind wipe you. So
Have
I
you
had
had
an experience.
abduction experiences? Like, were you in the
Yes.
hybridization program?
Not the hybridization, I don't believe. I was used for my telepathy and my psychic abilities. So I had an experience even March of last year. I was going to say this year, but it was March of last year where I had a little being that was like a little dude. Oh, three of
Yeah.
them actually. Three, they had very interesting faces, like a different mixture of amphibian and reptilian, and three of them with cloaks on, right? And they came to actually help me reduce an altar that was making me stay with my ex. I couldn't get out. It was like so toxic, but I was
Yeah.
stuck in it, right?
I know that.
So,
I know that. I know that. That's like,
yeah,
you know what that is? That's a handler situation. That's
it
when your
was.
ex becomes a
Yeah.
handler. You know what I mean? I gotta get my charger real quick.
Yeah,
Oh,
totally
give
a
me one.
hand. Yeah, it was a handler relationship. It was
It
horrible. Yeah,
absolutely
get your
was.
charger because you're
That's.
probably going
I
to
was in
lose
one.
power.
I was in one too. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
a couple years ago. It's like, I can tell you that, like, this. I'm not going to mention who it was, okay? But this girlfriend that
yeah.
I was with, when I'd be around her, it
Is this
seemed like
recent or a couple of years ago? A couple of
I
years
mean, this
ago.
was like, I'm not gonna. I don't want to say exactly when, because, like, I don't want people to know who it was. And if I say when
Yeah,
it was, people will be able to, because people know enough about my life. Well, they'll be able to know exactly who it was. But let me just put it this
yeah.
way: when
Okay.
I was with this girl, it seemed like every time we were together, she was like doing like a science project, or she was like she had had a mission. You know what I mean?
Right. You could feel it.
It's so bizarre. Like, she'd be normal
Yeah.
some of the time, and then other parts of the time it would be like she was trying to, like, fulfill a mission. Like, she was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a total
Yeah.
handler situation. And these people get put into our life, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because I don't know why. Because, I mean, it could
Look,
be the TIRAP, the Target Individual Program. Like,
it
they put,
is.
I don't know.
I
I
do
don't.
believe, like, if I had not had the level at me, I'd be still questioning my memories and my experiences, even down to last year. But the good thing about that experience last year is they helped me. And these three little beings from one of the moons of Saturn. I know how out there it is, but it's facts because I had the marks on my thigh. He had the marks on his thigh on the same spot, and they were
Whoa.
shaped in a certain way. It was like a mortar and pestle for him with a 3D a diamond figure, and mine was the moon of Saturn. It was like literally Saturn with a circle and a round and a 3D jagged like diamond shape underneath, so it looked like a 3D picture. I don't have to. I've got images, the images. So I'm glad that they left me that, because now I'm not questioning. I'm like, this happened, and the next day I completely forgot about it. Right? It was only because I remember, just as I'm going to sleep, I could hear them talking outside the room. And my partner at the time could hear them too. And I said, "Do you hear that?" And we could hear three little beings talking like that. That's what they sounded
I heard
like.
that. What's interesting is I posted a show on my channel earlier with that dude Brian Musgrave Evans. He's from your country. You should introduce. He seems like a cool dude. He wrote the book called Finding the Crypto-Terrestrials, where he has this theory that some of these aliens are from Earth, or they're anyway. He said they make chirping noises. Some of them. He said they make like. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. Well, just from my experience, part of my psyche called it square language, and I don't know where I get that from, but I know I've had my experience in hypnotherapy is that I had thousands and thousands of non-human intelligence that I would translate to and with, because I'm a telepath, and then give the information to the people that had taken me. That was my experience. I was a galactic emissary. Yeah, so that was my role. Yeah. So I'm kind of like, it was kind of weird that it happened, but they helped me. And I have a memory of being on a ship, and there's a red carpet, and these three little beings. I'm in a different altar. Like, I've got a different personality when I'm walking down this red carpet on this ship. And I have her name. I know her name. She only speaks German. Very, very, very strange, right? But they know her. They remember her, right?
Yeah.
So I'm walking past them, and I've helped them with some sort of trade thing, because I have to be like a negotiator. Like, I'm talking to them, but then I've got to help them with the people that they're trading with, and they remember that. So when I needed help, when I kind of telepathed out there one night, because every night I was looking at the stars and I'd have these thoughts in my mind, and that night they came. So I'd asked for it, and they came because I'd helped them. I know, so out there, right?
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. That's like that. I like that. Like that for real. That's a really cool experience. Look at this in the chat. Terry says, "I saw a very large triangle shaped craft on the 4th of July, 2021 over my house. It was to block out the stars and moving slow." That's crazy.
Yeah, that seems. Missy was telling me a very similar story. That they block out the stars when you see them, and then they'll flip on the opposite, and so you'll have the stars. So it's like a way of cloaking. I can go back to another question. What archetype do you feel that you are the most? Do you understand archetypes? It's like
yeah. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, give me some examples and I'll tell you what I would relate to.
I kind of connect with the witch in a way, because only recently, because it's like she has other abilities and other powers, and she's there to help humanity. And it's like, the priestess. I like saying the priestess as well. So that's the question that you've got.
I guess like a lot of me still feels like an outlaw, but then like,
the rebel.
Like, I'm never like I'm always like I'm never like, following suit, if that makes any sense. But like, then I'm also like the role of like the researcher, podcast host, whatever you want to call that,
like a journalist, the archetype of the journalist, but it's the rebel journalist. Like, there's that guy he's called himself dark journalist because he understands. So it's like similar to that, right?
I like dark journalist. I follow his work, by the way. I'd love to have him on my show. Daniel is the name. Daniel List.
Yeah, he's European, has that European accent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that rings. I think the rebels I definitely relate to that, because I like punk music too, and I was like, yeah. And we have of that era. You're a similar age to me, like 46. I'm turning 48, and oh my god, in 2 days. Can't believe it.
I don't even want to think about it. So it's your birthday soon?
Yeah, you remember last year on my birthday, I did a show with you, the Oracles. Last year in 2025, I was jumping from place to place to place because I was getting heavily, just so much going on, right?
We can do another one if you want for your birthday. Let me see what I have.
Yeah, in 2 days.
I don't know what your schedule's like, but like I don't have
Every time
anything.
it's my birthday, I'll go on your show. I don't mind. I don't think I
I
have
do
any
that with
plans on
other
a
people
Tuesday.
too. Like Christy Campbell does it. She comes on my show for her birthday. There's a Eve
Oh,
Howard comes on my show for her birthday. So I feel honored because like
yeah.
the people want to come on my show for their birthday because like that means that like people must like I don't
When's
know
your
like me.
birthday? What's your birthday?
Well, this year it was it's January 11th. We had a small little party.
Oh,
That was when I was hanging out with Indigo Angel, and it was me, Indigo Angel, Matthew Morning, and Missy Hill. We all did a show together
oh,
for my birthday. It went really well, and then after that,
yeah.
kind of like I don't know. I mean, yeah, like
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, and someone's asked a question, why did Rob start the podcast? I know that you have that history with Art Bell and you loved Coast to Coast AM, right, with
yeah,
Art Bell. So that
yeah.
was your inspiration, but why did you really start it? You know
I
what I
I
mean?
I don't know like I mean like I had a reawaken. So like I said, I used to listen, and some of the people probably heard this so many times, but like it's okay because but like I had so like okay, so like it had to be like 2013, right? It was like or it was either 2013 or 2015. I've said 2015 before, but it was one of those years. But like someone
Mm,
said to me the other day that I was probably watching their show in 2013. And I was like, well, maybe it does go back that far. I'm not sure. But I
mm,
basically was, from 2013 or 2015 to about 2019. I watched a lot of podcasts and I took in a lot of
right.
information. Like, like
Yeah.
and I was watching shows like Rex Bear from Leech Week Project, and I was watching Chris Matthew from Forbidden Knowledge News. I always liked the Higher Side Chats with Greg Carlwood. Those were three that I liked a lot, and those were kind of like three that I wanted to base my show off of. You know what I mean? So it's funny because I see some people like basing their show. People do like spin-offs of my show. Well, my show's a spin-off of those shows. In a way, like because I really looked up to those people. And
Yeah.
I are not, yeah, in a way. So like, like, yeah. And like, I mean, I didn't want to make my show like exactly like theirs because you never
Yeah.
want that. You
Yeah.
always want your own personal touch, right? But like,
Yeah.
that was what it was. But like, it was just like, I think like it was like 2019, and I was posting videos about the Anunnaki because I was kind of obsessed with the whole story of the Anunnaki. Like I loved it.
Yeah.
To me, I found it so interesting, and I was
Yeah.
researching all kinds of material on the Sumerian tablets, and not just like Zachariah Sitchin. Like like
Yeah.
there's other people who translated the tablets, like George Smith and Austin Henry
Off.
Laird and Samuel
Yeah.
Noah Kramer. Like these were all Assyriologists and Stephanie
Yeah.
Dolly, who was from Oxford University. She wrote the book The
Yeah.
Myth of Mesopotamia. George Smith wrote the Chaldean account of the deluge, which is the Chaldean account of the flood, the flood story.
Yeah.
And then you find out that every culture has a flood story. Well, anyway, so
They have
you
a
guys
flood
like
story.
I
Yeah.
was I was getting like deep into this shit, and like and
Yeah.
I wanted, and then like that like spun off, and between the years of 2013 and 2019 into like my interest back into the UFO phenomena, because I remembered when I was a kid and I used to listen to Art Bell, and I used to
Yeah.
love when he would talk about UFOs, and like I was always fascinated with alien abductions too. I was wondering why do people get taken, and I
Yeah.
and then I always had a fascination with what happens when we die. Like, where do we go? Like, because I don't feel like any religion is telling us the absolute truth about what happens to us when we die. I mean, obviously, right now we
Yeah.
know that. I mean, so like I had all these questions, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start my own podcast, and I did. And then COVID hit, and was forced to like I couldn't go to work, so I just started interviewing people. And then it's funny because
Yeah.
I'll talk to people now, and they'll say, I found your show during the pandemic, like in 2020, 2021, and then I put in like, a lot of
Yeah,
years of
that's
work.
true. That's when I found it too. And I started my own YouTube channel in 2020, 2021, around that cusp as well, during the lockdowns, because it was in Melbourne, it was hectic. There
But
was like
you're like me in the
two,
fact you had your
yeah,
channel taken away, right?
yeah, I had it taken.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that I'd already had about 7 videos already deleted, which
Yeah.
I was devastated about because I didn't have copies of those videos because most of them were live. And except one rock video. So I telepath with rocks, and I know it sounds out there, but it was like no one else was doing what I was doing. So I was breaking ground. So I could, you're pushing the paradigm and going, hey, why don't we do this? And I think having that experience of the lockdown, it was like experiencing like the top tier down control matrix structure on a population. And it was like, wow, we really need to break this. That's what it felt like. So we are rebels in a way. We're trying to break new ground. And for me, it's also looking at, and I think that you're a part of this too, the potentiality of the human potential, right? For psionic abilities, and we have powers that we don't realize that we have, because we've been suppressed by this controlled matrix, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm starting to come more into my abilities. Absolutely. Like my third eye starts to tingle more, and like I'm getting all kinds of things. Like, like I don't know. It's like my intuition's off the charts too. Like sometimes I'll think of something before someone says it, or I know who's gonna, more of those things where like someone calls, I know exactly who it is. You know what I mean? Like
Amazing.
just like all kinds of like intuitive hits I'm getting, I love it,
That's great. And I feel when you get all the you call it the attacks and like entities and stuff like that, I feel like it's our higher self, tell me if I'm wrong, who's actually putting these things in the way, so then we become stronger. Then we actually start, it's like a trial and error. It's like you're out of school. Like you've got a master's degree now, or at least a diploma. In like dealing with the paranormal. So it's about us and embracing our own abilities and using them to help ourselves, and then sharing that so other people go, oh, okay, well, if Rob can do it, because I heard you talking about how the entities were coming in and now you just push them away, which is perfect.
I try to. It's hard, but I can do it. It takes a lot of energy though. Like it takes a lot of like me focusing and like redirecting my energy, like and like trying to really focus on moving the energy, and then I can do it. Takes me a long time. Like whereas I know like people like maybe you and like people like my friend Priscilla and a couple other people I know that can manipulate energy, like Matthew Morning, he can move energy. Like a lot of people,
Same.
They can do it so
I had
fast.
to learn
Like it takes me like forever. Yeah.
It's okay, but it's because it's like a muscle. You start using it though, because all these entities and these whatever the dark energies are, right? They come in. It teaches you to actually go, okay, I need to use my light and my consciousness to push this away, and I'm much more powerful than them because they're not connected to the source energy, right? So you start building that muscle, and next thing you know, you're like, bang, bang, feel that, bang, out you go. See you later. Oh. And you're also using discernment too, right? 48 is the new 28. Just thought I'd put that up there. Plus, Chloe, you look way younger than 48. It's my energy, man. Blessings, surprise, gifts, and magic.
Yeah, you look like you're like 35. You got like a Harley Quinn look going on tonight. Last time I saw you was like a 50s like pinup girl. Now it's Harley Quinn tonight,
Oh yeah, she's a bit of a rebel, right? Harley
Quinn,
she
is. Yeah, my
I just have to have some rainbow in there, I do feel a little bit like her. Like that's the rebel, inside of me that wants to just get a baseball bat and just smash all the matrix down. But anyway, da da da. Oh yes.
I had an ex-girlfriend who passed away from cancer. Like we weren't together. Like
sorry.
She got like sick, but like she loved Harley Quinn, like or whatever. She was like a big fan. But no, like that reminded me of that. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Like yeah.
Oh, we're getting all these like all comments about the birthday thing, yeah. 4, 8 plus is 12 is 3 spiritual numbers. It's going to be an amazing year for you, Chloe. Fly, yay! So maybe there will be something in doing this, Should we go back to the questions? We've got why did Rob start? Yes. Topic he won't. Okay, this is one. What is a topic that you won't do in interviews that you will sort of steer away from?
I like if you look at like the description of my podcast, like on YouTube, like there's everybody breaks their description, right? On mine, I list about all these topics that I talk about, right? And then at the end, I put rarely ever any politics because I hate politics. Like
I can't stand it.
I got suckered into voting for Trump because I thought he was outside the system for a second, but then now he's proven to me that he's absolutely not. There's like, and I'm not, like I don't care I don't care who anybody votes for. I think what we need to realize is that like we're being controlled by these billionaire trillionaires and these, fuck. I mean, it's, and like, they don't give a shit about us. You know what I mean? And like, it's like we need to start realizing that that guy down the street that voted for Kamala Harris is not our enemy. When that other guy that up the street that voted for Donald Trump, that's not our energy. Our enemy.
Politics is divisive. It's divisive. It's created by the oligarchs. Let's look at the triangle, children. Up here is the oligarchs. Down here, about the middle, I think even lower, is the politicians, right? And then down here is all of us in these different colors, red and blue, and it's to divide people. I lost a lot of friends because of I did the same thing. Well, we couldn't vote, obviously, because it's in our country, but I was thinking, wow, maybe he has got maybe he is a savior. Maybe he is going to help us. And then we realized that's the game, right? So it's like putting someone up on a pedestal and saying, please save me. You're going to help us all, aren't you? And then we realize it's all just comes down to all of us together. And yes, that person down the road is not your enemy. I've just reunited with a really good friend of mine of 17 years. She went down the route of like having, jibby jab and all of that, and is sort of working in that arena. But we have so much in common in we're both really creative. We went to art school together. It's very interesting. You think, someone who's in art school, they'll be like really open-minded and into psychic stuff. She doesn't really like any spirituality, but we do find a common ground, right? And I think that's what we need to do again. It can be a little bit difficult because I am so spiritual. It's like, it's hard. Most people I relate on that level who I really connect with, with similar value systems, right?
Dude, I love the fact that people are seeing this. Like last night I had on Drago Reed on my show, and he nailed it. He talked about like the exact same that you did, that like, about the like that like, we're basically in this like caste system where we're the lower caste and like the higher caste of the politicians, and it doesn't matter who you vote for, guys. Like it really does, because it's not going to help you in the end. What we need to do is we need to tear down the old system and rebuild a new system with like different people in place, because all the people that are in place right now are absolutely corrupt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not just the United States. Like it's Israel, it's Ukraine, it's Great Britain.
Don't mention that.
What's
mentioning that place on my podcast.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Well, I was just using it as a point of reference.
But it's true. It's just a country, right? But it's like in everyone's back pocket. And the problem, outcome, solution, you can't mention it. I mean, the fact that we're censored, and I have to say that, we can't even have like a healthy discussion around it, because it's like shut down straight away. And then you become anti so-and-so. And in this country, it's like, I can't say anything about like mass migration as it's an issue, right? Without being called, I'm a racist. I can't even like question it. And I think that calling me a racist is actually racist itself. The fact that I, blonde, blue-eyed and white skin, then I can't even have a conversation. It's just shut down automatically. And a lot of my friends are programmed like that.
They weaponize all this. It's crazy. Like they do this all on purpose. They do that for that outcome that you just explained, and you know that, right? Like you already know that. You're smart, and you see above the system. Like, but that's the whole goal of what they're doing. Like, okay, so wait. I think when these controllers do things, they have many goals in place. One of the goals is mass migration causes mass problems, right? And some of these immigrants don't know how to act in these countries that they're in. They're not conforming to society, right? That's a problem. Then it's like the people that call that out, they get accused of being racist. That's a problem. So there's like 4 or 5 problems that spawn off of this migration issue, right? And then, and that's the thing. That's that and that and
housing. Housing, jobs now. It's like rare to have a job here. So I think they're kind of pushing people to rely on the welfare state, right? And that's the whole 2030 agenda, is the transhumanism. Like, please, sir, can I have more, sir? Yes, you can have some food, but you must not do this, that, and the other. What? You have a podcast? out, to the camps. I don't know. That's what I'm kind of imagining. I don't want that to imagine. We're in the, as Rachel said, let's go. She said, I like this. She goes, keeping it with Rob, more positive topics, right? So we're trying to focus on what we want to see in the world. Yes, we can focus on what is happening. We all know the story. A lot of people don't know the story though, because the thing is, I think I'm sort of outside of the box because I grew up in a cult, right? And I understand the programming. I can tell you a situation that happened during lockdown because I was running around Melbourne doing all sorts of things. I won't go into it just in case. Meeting up with people, putting certain posters up around the place. I can't talk about it too much because I don't want the repercussion of that. But I felt like a vigilante. I was going around trying to wake people up and trying to say this, that, and the other. Right? What was the point of that? God, I came to a point with that.
What was it against the jab, or what was it?
Yeah. It was just like, oh my God, people. Oh yes, as I was doing that, putting these certain posters up, that I still can't talk about. I had people coming up to me, right? I had a Russian guy come up to me because I never wore that thing on my face because I knew straight away it was like SRA, MK Ultra. Straight away I could see it, right? So the very fact that I never wore that, and I knew my rights, so I knew what to say to the managers or if I went into places, I knew exactly what to say. Right? It's illegal to ask for my medical health records. Basically, that was the first one, and then a few other things I said after that. Anyway, I had this Russian guy come up to me and goes, "Why are you not programmed?" He knew it straight away. He goes, "Why are you not programmed like the others?"
That's funny.
I said, yeah, because he grew up under a socialist, communism, right? System, right? Why are you not programmed like the others? I said, because I grew up in a cult and I can see the program. He goes, yes, I see now. Can you believe that? That he came up to, and there was a guy from Afghanistan too that came up to me when I was doing my posters. You can get a big fine for it, so I can't really talk about it. But anyway, I tried to do stuff, right? So that's why I'm not going into the details of it, okay? And this Afghanistan guy said to me, he goes, did you know there's a portal in Afghanistan? And I was like, what? And I go, yeah, actually, I've heard about that Stargate, that everyone kind of puts way too much emphasis on because there's Stargates everywhere. Okay.
Yeah, there is.
But he came up and told me he felt safe enough to come up there and tell me about it, right? Yeah.
That's cool that he knew,
Yeah. There's a question that I was like, I don't know if I can ask Rob that, but I will try. Is there someone Rob won't interview again? You don't have to answer it.
Let me think about that. I don't know. Like I mean, I'm just trying to play ball with everybody. I'll just put it that way. Because I don't want to have,
you're neutral. Yeah.
I don't want to have certain opinions about people and then cut people off and then other people get mad at me or something like that. So I'm just trying to be nice to everybody,
I think that's a good way.
Here's all I'll say. I just want respect for what I've done in this community. And I'm not being a narcissist when I say that. I just know my value and what I've done for it. And that's all I'm saying. I'd love to see that's all I want. It's a little bit of recognition for what I've done. And that's not even, I'm not even I don't want to be put on a pedestal or anything like that. It'd just be nice to, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That's
I like the fact that I think it's your inner knowing, right? That you're like, you have to be neutral. I got told by Spirit, this is my guides and my team behind me. They say that just word of advice for you, Chloe. And I was like, yes. And they said, just stay in your own lane, right? Don't comment about other people's experience. It's not my place to comment about other people's experience, whether it was true or not. It was true for that person. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I do see a lot of infighting, and I do believe a lot of it is V2K. I do. Yeah. I think people are not understanding that those thoughts that they're getting sometimes are not their own. When you get a thought that's connected deeply emotionally to yourself, and you've got to have discerning, right? Because I've had the V2K and it feels very much like yours, but it's not yours because for me, it's like, what have I done recently to get the counter energy, right? Oh, I've been public. I've actually gone on James Bartley's show or Rob's show or someone's show. I haven't had too much backlash from being on yours, but when I've gone into depth about my abduction experience or the alien, anything to do with alien, then I get the backlash. I really do. And it's
Yeah.
really horrible. It's like you get like a full on depression feeling, like, and the voice is telling you to go and do things. You're like, that's not mine. That's not my thinking at
You
all,
know what
right?
else I could say? I think it's BTK, and then I also think it could be entities too, because from my
Yeah,
experience, like when I
yeah,
had the entity attachments, they can be they're like highly manipulative. It's like the goal
yeah,
of the entity is to get inside your mind and manipulate it
yeah.
so you start acting
It's
differently.
true.
That's
Yeah.
their whole like MO. They want to be able to
Yes, I
control
do.
whoever they're.
Yeah, I do believe that is definitely entities as well, because they'll give you like, it's only entities that give me that full on depression feeling. And you're like, this is
Hmm.
not mine. I've got no reason to feel like this right now. There's literally no reason. So you have to use your logic actually and become an observer of your own emotions and your thoughts. And I think more people, if anything, need to meditate and just be zen and be in that place of neutrality, right?
It can
There's
make
a
you
lot of
stronger. It can
it
make you
does.
stronger.
You just have to protect yourself, says Missy. And Missy,
Yeah.
she says, just say allegedly. Allegedly, when posters were put up.
Mhm.
He says, and Missy's swearing, but it's true. You effing deserve respect. Yeah, you've done a
Thanks.
lot of work for people, and you've been inspired by people before you, right? And now you're inspiring other people. You've inspired me to interview you and get
Mhm.
out there and ask the right questions, right? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people that they think about certain things, but they don't voice it, right? And I knew
Yeah.
you were going to answer like that. I knew you were going to say it's I want to be in a neutral place. I feel like I want to go back to Rob's early childhood, right? What do you feel also beyond that watching podcasts and seeing people talk about these topics? Do you feel like you're inspired by something way back in time, maybe from childhood? Like, did you have an abductee experience, or was it just you felt like it was your family?
I had some really weird and strange experiences. I'm sure I'm still trying to sort out, but I mean, like just like the stuff
Yeah,
that I mean, like like I don't know, like I was always interested in like mysteries and stuff. Like I would go to the library and
yeah,
look at all the like the books on the pyramids and I just was
yeah,
always
same.
I would always watch like unsolved mysteries and sightings, and like I was just kind of into it, and I never understood
Yeah,
why. You know,
yeah. That's the same
maybe
with me. Yeah,
I mean, I could have had something going on all along and I would never know it because I don't have any
yeah,
memory, you know? But
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Have
and I don't know. Yeah.
no, good question is like, have you had hypnosis?
Yeah,
Because that's
I've done it like believe it
okay.
or not, like I've done hypnosis like 13 times.
Is that with the Maya lady that you had on? I should
I've
actually
done
talk
it with
about that.
Maya, and then I told you
Maya, yeah,
I did one with Terry Lovelace, who's the alien abductee. He wrote the book, The Incident at Devil's Den.
yeah,
What it was he was coming on, but this was back in like 2021 or 2022. He was actually like
yeah,
the first person that regressed me, and he was learning regressions from Fiona Harris, who's I love her work. She's awesome too. Like I've gotten regressions from her. She's amazing. Like, she's out of Canada, and Terry said, "Would you be like my test, person?" And I said, "Sure." I said, "You can put me
yeah,
under hypnosis," and we did. And I think in that first one, I went to like, believe it or not, like I lived out the life of a World War II prisoner, and then
yeah.
came to realize that I think that was my grandpa because my grandfather was a prisoner of World War II. I think I was seeing
Right.
my
Oh
grandfather's
my
body in
God.
the prison camp, and like it was
Yeah.
fascinating, and I'd love to like. I wish I still had that. It was on my old channel. It was that's why I said like I wish I could get my old channel back. If I got my old channel back, it'd be like a gold mine of like, I mean it's information for days. It's
Yeah.
like,
Well, you know what's so interesting now? My grandfather was a prisoner of war. So there's a similar
whoa.
thing there. He was literally a prisoner of war under the Japanese in Borneo, and he was building an aerodrome and he got captured. And I think there's I've seen people might say, oh, it's because you have pattern recognition, but I've seen pattern recognition in my own family, right? In the cult, with all the mothers in the family, and my father, is that they had really unusual survival genes. Like each one of their grandparents had been in the war, World War II specifically, and had survived. Out of thousands and thousands of people, the statistics were really unusual that they'd survived under those circumstances. And I think they're looking for the genetics on that too, right? Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah, that does. It's weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know what's up with that. That's interesting for sure.
It is interesting because I thought there was only a grandfather on my stepfather's side who was a part of the cult, and he survived the
Wait,
Spitfires.
what was up with this cult? Like, I don't know if you and I have ever
Yeah.
talked about this. Like, what is this cult? Like, you got to tell
I
me
grew
about
up in
this.
a cult. You didn't know about that? Oh my goodness. Yeah. So
I mean,
my family were involved in a cult. So my father was a cult leader. And see, my whole thing is that he was trained by SSO or CIA in Hawaii, right? So he was from
holy
New
shit.
Zealand. Yeah, and then he joined the Navy and then disappeared. There's no recollection of those 10 years that he spent in the 60s in Hawaii. But when I went to Hawaii, it was a little bit of my investigation as well. It's so much military there that you
Yeah,
cannot deny that he was definitely involved in something. But he
yeah.
then was like Preston Nichols, right? So he used unethical hypnosis on the women in the group. He was like 45 and they were like teenagers, and he started a music shop. So it's very much like Charles Manson kind of vibes here.
Holy
Like
shit.
in, yeah, so late 60s, early 70s. We haven't really gone into depth about it because there's so much to talk about. And I end up doing the oracles on your show. So I
Yeah.
suppose we can talk about it now. So yeah, the
Did it did it
POW,
did it, did it
yeah.
all turn out okay, or what happened with the
Hang
cult?
on, aren't you? I'm supposed to be interviewing you.
I'm fascinated by cults. Like, I've always, like
Yeah,
I lived through that whole thing in
yeah,
the 90s with David Koresh. Like, people don't remember that, but
yeah,
it was a huge standoff at Waco, and I remember being like
yeah,
12, 13 years old, watching that on TV, watching the FBI raid that compound, and like then you find out like that there
yeah,
was other circumstances that, like, okay,
yeah,
Koresh was definitely a maniac, but like
yeah,
the FBI definitely used unlawful practices to raid that
yeah.
place, and like
They
there's
did.
definitely, like, they could be held liable for what some of the stuff that they did there, like
Well,
it's
that's
like,
right. But I think it goes deeper, and that's the whole thing, was to rid and get rid of these people because he must have known something. And the funniest thing as we're talking, right, is that I heard from some of my sisters, because I didn't grow up in my father's compound or group. I was taken out at 4, which is kind of a saving grace. Out of all of my father's children, there were 64 of us, by the way. And I'm number 11 of 64, right? So I'm part of the older generation, right?
wait,
Uh,
64 kids?
yes, 64 children. Yeah.
Holy
We
shit.
haven't talked about this.
Wait a
You've only
minute, you have
I talk about it
64
on
brothers
every
and sisters? Wait, 64 brothers and sisters?
yes.
Damn, your parents were
Yes.
getting busy. Like, what, I mean, like, wait, was there multiple women or something, or
There's
like,
multiple women, I have heard of there is an odd thing about, there's certain women in Peru that can have like 64 children. It must be something in the volcanic soil.
I
But
know
no, there
that
was
that was
10.
kind of a dumb question. I'm sorry. That was a stupid question.
No,
But
there was 10
you,
women.
you,
My mother was one of the wives, but she got kicked out because she had abilities that my father was threatened by, actually. And so it was like a wizard and a witch fighting. And so she got sent out, and then I was left in the group till about 4 years of age. And then she came back and got me, but the story was that she was meant to come and get my sister and got me instead. She left me as a baby. It's not her fault. There was a lot of trauma there. This is my background. This is my early
you could
upbringing.
write a book on this. You should
I
write a book
know.
on this.
I know, but I've just been so put into the whole targeting instability, all the things over the last couple
Well,
of years.
okay, so this is interesting that you say this, because I'm finding
Yeah.
out now that a lot of people, like, their parents might have had connections and stuff. Your dad might have had CIA connections, and
Yes, he
that
did.
might be why you're targeted, because they're trying to figure out
Yes.
what you know or what you're finding out that, like,
I think
he
it's a
knew.
whole bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, same
I
with
don't think
David
it's just
Koresh.
that.
Like, I think like
Yeah.
going back to the whole Koresh case, I think Koresh was probably working with the CIA and FBI, and they were letting him
Yes.
be a maniac in his place or whatever.
Yes.
He absolutely wasn't. Not,
I
but
wanted
like
to say something on that because the women were they told me that my father said that he knew David Koresh. And I'm like, well, how did you know David Koresh? Like he would have been a bit younger than you, but how would you know him? Unless you would in like, is there a school for cult leaders
it's
and
like
they
the MK
train
Ultra
them?
school for cult leaders, right?
100%. I watched the recent like show on Charles Manson on Netflix, right? And he talks about the Haight Ashbury Clinic in San Francisco, right? So where he took his wives to, right? The same, so many similar circumstances, a man with all these wives, and then had so much control of their ego and their psyche that he could like tell them to go and kill for him. Like, sorry,
That's
I probably
insane. That's actually
delete.
insane too. Yeah, yeah. That's like that's
Yeah.
wild, right?
But my father was, he wanted to create, one of my brothers said that he wanted to create an army, so he wanted to create, like, I think he was trying to get to about 100 children until,
Yeah.
he, see, the thing is, he was a pedophile as well. So he got done for pedophilia, and the women would say not to his own children, but the children that came into the cult, and he was trying to groom more younger. Oh, horrible, horrible. So he got done for that, thank God. But I think before that, the authorities couldn't deal with the fact that there was a cult because they'd come to visit the compound, and then they'd get the special handshake from, those people that are
Holy
all from,
shit.
yeah. There's a lot. That's why I've got all that background. So I know that there's a link between SRA cults and
Oh,
alien abduction.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm that link who has all of it, and other people too. We're talking about it now, saying it's all by design. Chaos and is all by design. They'll come into these not just bloodline families, but certain families that have high survival genes, and they disrupted that family line, right?
Yeah.
It's intergenerational trauma that they're trying to create, right? Because I think like veterans, they find us like a threat, because we could coordinate and bring people together. I don't know, really know. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Like, like it's like they're like a lot of us are like test studies for like these
Yeah.
organizations. Then
Yeah, I think so. So there's a question by Terry. I thought this was interesting. Did you ever feel attacked by anyone you interviewed, or they left something behind that was negative? Don't have to name names, just yes or no.
Most likely, yeah. I can't say
Yeah.
who it was, but like I mean, I think I'm pick. See, I think like as me being an empath, and then on top of that, like I'm sensitive to
Yeah.
psychic energies and stuff. Like I can feel when someone else has entities, and it's like their entities come right through, and I pick them up. And I won't say who, but like that's happened a couple times. Like no one. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just yeah. It's but it definitely has happened. Yeah, and people do have entities. I don't think some of them realize they have them.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not anybody that's in the chat right now or anybody.
Or
I,
me.
yeah,
Please
no,
tell me.
it's not no, yeah, exactly. You got it. It's not nothing
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. These are like people that just like like I just interviewed here or
I'm
there or
just putting
something.
some gold light around your room, just trying to get all the, hidden things out and just push it out.
Yeah,
We have abilities, we can use them. If we feel it, it's just about not giving your attention to that. It is a law of the universe. If you continuously give your energy to a certain thing, you'll get more of it. And that's why I don't like that word targeting. I like to say that, in an empowered position, I'm
yeah,
empowered. I don't like saying the chosen ones because we are the chosen ones. It's a little bit, let's all have a cult together. I'm a bit irked out by cults, right? I think we all need to have our own individual identity, right? Because it
yeah,
starts becoming like an amoeba, right? And so we must all say that we're a part of SSP, and it's not a part of it, right? Yes, it is a part of it, but it's not a requirement to be a part of this, whatever we want to call it. Is a disclosure community, right? It's
yeah,
not really a part of it. Usually it's people who've already had paranormal or unusual experiences anyway, right?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I'm so like. That's why I'm so like. I believe everybody who comes on my show. Like I want everybody to be able to tell their story. But like as far as I
Yeah,
go, like I want to know for sure that I'm having like. I want to know for sure about my own experiences before I go and tell
yeah,
them. Because, like I don't know.
yeah,
I want to feel comfortable with it. And right now, whatever is happening
yeah,
to me, besides the entity stuff, like I don't feel comfortable with like coming forward because I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? So it's like
yeah.
until I piece it together, I don't want to. You know. I
I'm
don't
sort
know.
of doing it. I feel like you can do it at the same time. You can talk about your experiences, but also be in a place of sort of like, I don't really understand it all. You can
Yeah.
still be like that. You can be in that neutral space of like, I'm still trying to figure it out. I certainly don't have all the answers, you know. I've
Yeah.
recently saw a show on this lady was talking about, she's called Stalked by the Feds, right? And she talks about copper. So I naturally always have copper bracelet, and she's saying that it actually works to buffer the psychotronic. So I was wondering why I naturally just do it. I just have these copper bracelets and I think it's working. So it's all these things. Once we talk to each other, right, we're able to counter, right, entities, psychotronic. I mean, we're up, like the psychotronic. Was that around 10 years ago?
I don't know. I mean, it probably was, but we weren't maybe we weren't knowing about it as much. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
we're in the age of revealing now, so everything's coming
Yeah.
forward, right? But I don't know. It didn't seem like it was, as much. It seems like it's coming. It's all coming out now,
Yeah.
I think they were definitely doing experiments with Havana syndrome on people, like
I
a
had it.
while ago. But like, did
Have
like
you had it? Havana? Have you had the
no,
Havana
like,
syndrome?
the reason why they call it Havana syndrome is because it was originally done in Havana, Cuba,
Cuba.
like to like
Yeah,
U.S.
I
government
know.
agents who they were running like some kind of tests on, and it was like
Yeah,
a MK Ultra targeting type thing,
yeah,
and then and then I guess they started doing it on the whole public or something. I don't know. It's
yeah. They did it at and it was at an American embassy in Havana, Cuba. Yeah.
yeah.
So I had it. And Tommy Edwards actually, he when he had his Facebook page a couple of years ago, I went through it for 3 months. It was full on. What I did is I filmed I believe it was a Nordic ship, so because it was like one of those Tic Tac UFOs. But I'd already telepathed with it beforehand, and it told me that it was going to meet me at the top of this like Hare Krishna temple because I was doing yoga
Whoa.
there. Yeah, and I was with two other people. We went to the Crystal Castle the same day, and then I heard the telepathy in my head, "Meet me at the top of the temple at 5 o'clock." And I was like, "That's different." Okay, so I had my camera ready, and there the UFO went past. It was a Tic Tac UFO, and I filmed it, and I was talking a little bit in between. Other people around me could see something different. Someone saw a plane, but on the camera, it captured it on the camera, the Tic Tac, right? Then I
Whoa.
got bang. The next day I woke up, it was a Saturday morning, and I was staying in like a tent on the property of this yoga place, right? I got full on dizzy. It was full on Havana syndrome. And I had it for about 3 months, couldn't get rid of it. I went to a specialist, a German specialist who did all these things with my eyes to see if it was my doctor was worried. They sent me for an MRI, right? But I had a really bad like a dread feeling before when I had the hospital gown on and I was about to go and get the injection. I got this full on dread feeling, and there they gave me this contract to sign. Like 1 in 1 million, this may go horribly wrong and you may die. I was like, I'm about to sign this, and I go, I will be that 1 in 1 million, I feel. So I just went, no, I've actually got to back away. But I still was so dizzy after that. So Tommy Edwards said, because I was going, why is everyone got this? Because I thought it might be ascension syndrome. And so he said that, Chloe, you've got Havana syndrome, and I did. I
Wow.
had it. It was full on, and my brain kind of like tried to deal with it. But I can tell you that experience, I, I cried out to, God or the creator and said, please, again, there's so many circumstances of this. Like, what is happening? You want me to go on this mission, but I'm getting Havana and it's really full on. So then I got, it's hard to explain, but I had a female reptilian appear in the
Whoa.
astral. Yeah. she was the one sending it to me. So it wasn't psychotronic,
Yeah.
Havana. It was psionic. They were giving it to me because, and I said, I had a full-on conversation with her, and I said, why are you sending this to me? We find you a threat, is what she said to me. And I said, it's unethical. It's against the spiritual laws of the universe that you send this to me. It's against the law. Lore, not law as is like spiritual law, right?
Yeah.
And I said, it's against you. You're doing something cruel to someone. It's not your place to do this to me. And we had this back and forth conversation. Anyway, Havana syndrome gone.
Wow.
Havana syndrome gone because I had that conversation with that reptilian, right? Next level. And felt very protected after that because my guides came in. It's all lessons really on how to battle, right? How to battle.
Yeah. For real.
Right.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. 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 That's wow. That's
Yeah,
Jason says
it's
it'd be
next
cool to
level.
get Chloe and Tommy on the same time. Yeah. Maybe we can try to do that. You know.
Yeah, I'd like to because I want to say thank you to him because he told me that and I kind of realized the bigger picture of what I was dealing with. Of course I had one doctor who I trusted and she was quite concerned. She thought I had a brain tumor. And she was trying to say it was like the crystal in the inner ear. It could be that, but only people
Yeah.
who are like in their 60s upwards get that. So we were kind of trying to troubleshoot and take out what the issue was, and that's why she sent me to the MRI. But I just did not have a good feeling about that. No, maybe I'll go get another. I don't know. I don't want to be injected with anything. I don't think my body repels pharmaceutical energies. Like it's just it doesn't suit it.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you want to say that you'd like to share with everyone before we
I
wrap
don't
up?
know. I mean, this was a great show. I mean, if anybody
Yeah,
has any more questions, I'll take I'll take another whatever. But
yeah,
I mean, this was fun, and we
yeah,
can, if you want to schedule for, if you want to come on for your birthday, we can definitely do that.
yeah. So Miss Jason says it'd be cool to get Chloe and Tommy on at the same time. Yeah, we could talk about a lot of stuff, right? And why we're sharing this is to take back our power because I'm telling you, and I do believe that people have unfortunately taken themselves out. Okay, you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
Because of this, and they think it's all them, right? It's from their trauma. Yes, it could be. Go get therapy, go get healing in regards to that. Because I've
yeah,
already been through all of that, I feel like I'm a bit of a way shower. I'm saying, hey, I've had this too, and this is
yeah,
what I've done to counteract it. Right.
yeah,
I've had the Draco. I've had so much, right, to be here now. It's just, I'm definitely getting looked after. I'm totally protected, right? Can you have yes, you can get an MRI without the injection. You get a CAT scan. And that was the next thing. But because I already had that one-on-one confrontation, you could call it, with the reptilian female, right? I didn't need to go and get anything after that. There was no point. It was going to cost me too much anyway. So yeah, it went. So
yeah.
it's pretty out there. Okay, there's Jason's got a question. What would Rob's dream studio look like?
I
Hey,
don't
let's
know. I
put that up
mean,
there.
it would be like, I don't know, like I don't know, like it would be like like I would definitely have a hidden wall, like one of those like James Bond type walls, or you press it and like you go in, and then like in there would be like the like another studio or like something secretive. I would probably
Yeah.
have like a some kind of aquatic, something aquatic, like a hot tub or something in there. Like this would be like the studio. Like, this would
And we
be
all just get
crazy.
in
Like,
the
this
hot
would be-
tub and we're just like interview on. I don't know how you can bring microphone. I think microphones actually get corrupted by
I'm
the
trying to think what else. I
steam.
mean, I'd have like my own like little like espresso bar in there. You know what I mean? Like, this would be like if I had the money to do all this. Like, I really would put the secret wall in too. Like, because I
Yeah, I
always
can
loved that.
totally see that. I can totally see it. But I have this picture of you in like this super soldier outfit now, and it's like that guy Iron. I forgot his name. There was a show, and I can't remember the show. It's like one of those Marvel studio things, and they've got the light in front of their heart. I don't know if I'm actually clairvoyantly picking up on something, actually. As you went into the hidden door, I can see you in actually a super soldier like outfit. Is that
That
one of
makes
your
sense, 'cause I always
memories?
like Batman too, you know, like how Batman
Yeah,
would be like Bruce Wayne one minute, and then the next minute he would like transform into Batman. And he had a secret room where
yeah,
he like had his like Batman, stuff, and
yeah.
that would be
It's
me.
like the Yeah, I think it's you. It's like hidden super soldier, and then you're. But like we don't have these memories because the thing is when you've got MK Ultra mind control programming in the part, they create alters, right? So there's a whole it's pretty irky to think about, right? But you have a whole other personality that's right inside that, switches, God, it's pretty out
Yeah,
there. But I've had a couple of experiences where I felt that without going too much into my stuff, but coming across an agent that pulled out an altar from inside of me by asking me a very compliant altar that he was asking me where my address was, right? And I had to contain myself so strongly to push whatever that obedient part of me was trying to disclose my address to this complete stranger. Yeah, so that was pretty crazy. Iron
well,
Man. Sorry, it was Iron Man.
yeah,
That's it.
Iron Man was one of my
Yeah.
favorite characters back in the Tony Starks. That was
Yeah, Tony Stark's. Um,
I
okay,
wish I could
cool.
be like that. Like I could be like an Iron Man or Batman type figure, like where I like went and fought crime, but like, then I was like, people think I'm just like this regular podcaster, but then at night I go out and like, do like amazing things, you know. That would be
I
cool.
feel I want to say you're a superhero to many of us, right?
Oh,
You
thanks.
inspire a lot of people, right? With your strength. And I know you get the targeting with the entities and all of that, but you're doing your best to, empower yourself by learning about intuition and protection, right?
It's
So it's
been bad the last
inspiring.
few nights. Like it felt like last
Yeah.
night I was up until like 2, 3 in the morning, and it felt like the entities were going in my eyes. And I was like, what in the living fuck is going on here? I'm like, this is to the point where it's like, I
Yeah.
don't know. There's no like, see, like where I live in
I think
Pittsburgh,
you sent me that
Pennsylvania,
message as well.
you can't just
Spiders.
bring someone in
Yeah.
here. Like, there's no like this is like a town of like no a lot of normies. So there's no one because I'd like to bring someone here physically so they could like I don't know, like
Yeah.
do I mean like I know like you could probably clear the place and stuff from there, but it's like I also want to bring someone here because like obviously this thing keeps happening, or whatever it is. Like
Yeah.
I think what it is, and I'll tell you what I really think it is. I think someone's using black magic against me and they keep doing it
Yeah.
over and over and over again. So
Yeah.
when someone clears it and they successfully clear it, then they just
Yeah.
do it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
I've
it's
had
like,
I'm the same. I get the same thing. Anyone who's kind of standing up on a platform and being public about this topic becomes a target. I've had the Magi, I call them I've seen him, they put bricks around me to stop me and cut me off from source. I've had a similar thing in regards to, like you said, it was like creepy crawlies pulling in your eye when you sent me that message, right? And I said, I've had the little spiders, like the
yeah,
cybernetic spiders, like crawling on you, biting you. There's nothing there. And it's not
yeah,
just you, there's other people who I've been a part of Misha Johnson's group as well. So I'm so glad for that group because there's other people who can talk about what they go through, and you're like, oh my God, I'm not crazy. There's a similar thing happening to someone else. So the thing is to build and forge that connection to your guides. I believe we all get guardian angels, right? We get some pretty tough ones, right? So it's
yeah,
just being open and asking your guides, what's the solution here? What do I need to do? And I get the answers straight away. As much as I get the spiders biting, I get told, for me, purple is my color. So I get asked to
yeah,
visualize a purple color in my field. And most notably and usually, the activity will stop. So it's, in fact, you could say that these experiences are pushing you more towards your soul and your soul group and your
yeah.
protectors. We're all given you know that you wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be here if we didn't have an invisible team of angels behind us helping us every part of the
Yeah.
way. There's no
And
way,
you know what I was
you
thinking? I
know.
was thinking maybe this is like you said, maybe it's like a lesson. Maybe this is trying to
Yeah.
teach me something. It has to be,
Yes,
right?
it has to be. It is. That's I've had so many weekly daily, usually I'll have something that goes on. It's just so part and parcel of what I go through. And I've had to learn different techniques. Otherwise, what am I going to do? Wrap myself in a bubble suit and live in a house by myself?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to even go outside the house. So
Yeah.
after I came back from America, I got the full-on Amiga programming for a whole week, and I had
Wow.
agoraphobia. I've never had agoraphobia before. I literally could not step out of my house. I was
Wow.
staying with a friend, and I couldn't leave the house. And I'm thinking, is this for my protection? Possibly, you know. We
Yeah.
did have a few weird cars rock up, which is the usual gamut as well. You'll get that too. But you wouldn't be getting this if you weren't a threat to the established order of things in the system. So you go, oh, there you are again. Hi, how are you? Thank you for validating me. And you have to turn it around. You have
Absolutely.
to. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's like, I think everything's a lesson in life, and, like, I just,
Yeah.
I'm thankful that, like, I'm just thankful that I'm able to do what I'm able to do. And like, that I have
Yeah.
actually people like watching me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm
Yeah.
not, I'm like grateful for that, like, I'm
Yeah.
grateful that we have a great community of people that watch and like, and like that,
Yeah.
like, like things are hard, obviously, right? Things are up and down.
Yeah.
Like, no one ever said life was going to be easy, but
Yeah.
it's every day that I'm standing up on 2 feet and I can go for a long walk and like,
Yeah.
I can live my own life and I work from my home, I mean, because I
Yeah.
can't conform to society. I can't do a 9 to 5 job. Like, I worked, there was this point, like I was a very successful mortgage broker, Chloe. I work,
Yeah.
but that's a soul sucking job. I would never go back and do that again.
Yeah. God.
But then like I went through a spell of addiction, obviously, and then like I started when I got out of addiction, I got clean, and before I did my podcast, I was taking like jobs anywhere. Like I was taking jobs at
Yeah.
gas stations. I was working at
Yeah.
Walmart, and like I'd
Yeah.
be I
Wow.
was the guy at Walmart that like you went in the back of the truck and like there it was a big truck full of like merchandise, all kinds of shit, like huge things of chemicals
Yeah.
and furniture and shit. And I had to clear out the whole truck and put everything on a conveyor belt. And like,
Wow.
and then I worked in a gas station, and I remember I went in high at like 5 because I had to go in at like 4 or 5 in the morning. So I went in
Yeah.
blast. I was so fucked up, and she sent me home. I remember walking home. I was like so bummed out. I was like, I'm never gonna be able to live a life. I was like, I'm never gonna be able to do anything right. I was like, what the fuck? Such a fuck up. I'll never forget that day. I was walking home at
Oh.
like 5 in the
Yeah.
morning. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then there
Yeah.
came a point where I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna do things my way. And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do it because like I obviously can't conform to society. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
where I'm at with it.
I feel like, because I'm very similar. I can't even get like a gas job. I've applied over and over, and I don't know if that's a part of the targeting, but I want to kind of put it to like, I feel like it's a frequency thing. So we kind of like can see the matrix like a mirror, like for what it is. And it's almost like they can read that you can see through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, I want to be a slave to the system, please. Please give me a little bit of change. And they can kind of see through it. I don't know what the hell I'm saying in interviews where, I'm hoping for something, because it's just financially, again, so tough. I'm literally like, once I pay rent and for food, I really don't have much left over except for
That's who I am
StreamYard.
too. Yeah.
I'm just like,
I know.
make sure I can crumble little bits of coins together so I can pay my StreamYard.
It's like, yeah,
So I
it's like the day you can order a pizza, it's like, holy shit, you
Oh
hit the
my
jackpot,
God. I was talking about pizza on the show the other day. Now I understand why, because it's like a luxury.
That's why I felt so.
Yeah.
So like my friend's mom, my friend's mom was really nice. So I told you I went to the Italian festival today. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't have a lot of money, but like my friend's mom, like he was my friend from high school. Her only
Yeah.
request was that she wanted us to go to church. And you know me, I'm not religious, but I mean, I
No.
went,
Like
and then
Catholic
I
church.
felt like a kid. She like bought us these tickets for the food at the Italian festival, but like I
Yeah.
was like, it was nice of her to do. You know what I mean? Like it's like my
Yeah.
best friend
It's
from
good
high
to
school.
catch
So it's
up
like,
with it's good to catch up with old friends. I think it's important, okay? Even if
yeah.
she has like different ideologies, and maybe she's into different politics and stuff. Is she into the whole woo-woo spiritual kind of thing, or would you
My
be able to
friend
talk
is
about
my friend that I went
aliens?
to her son, my friend that I went to the conference, but he's more into
Yeah,
like political conspiracies. He doesn't dip his toes. But I mean, like he knows about stuff. Like he's not
yeah,
like really dumb to it, but he's more into like the political side, which
yeah,
I mean, like but he's starting to realize that it's like all a game. You know what I mean? Like he's because
yeah.
like he was into the whole Trump thing too, and like I
Is
think
this your friend's son? So he's what, in his 20s?
No, he's
Oh,
my age, but like his
oh,
mom,
okay.
you know what I mean? Like was there at the fair and everything too. Like
Oh,
she met
okay.
us there and like, like we went and like we went to church and stuff and like, and it was
Oh,
not, I
wow.
mean, like, I don't think I don't know, all church is bad, but I mean, that doesn't mean
No.
I'm not I don't know. I
The
believe
thing
Jesus
the
is a
thing
real person. I
yeah,
believe he's like an ascended master or something.
yeah, I do. I believe that as well. Like, I've had experiences with Jesus, like in sessions with certain people. He's come in to help them, usually to heal the heart and seek forgiveness, which is what he's all about. So it's been a positive thing with me, but I just don't like the followers. I've heard that saying before. I'm into Jesus, I'm just not really into his followers. And the church, I think it's one good thing about church that I think was really positive is it brought community together, which I think
Yeah.
a lot of it brought community together. So you're seeing the desecration of those churches, and people are like a bit lost. So at the same time, I'm kind of seeing the positive of it, but it's just the dogma and the indoctrination that goes with it's like a cult. If
Yeah.
you're not doing this and you're not doing that, and you're not behaving or dressing in a certain way, then out. But like Jesus wasn't about that. He was talking to homeless people and prostitutes and people that were, the dregs of society,
Yeah.
and he was just like, you are forgiven, and telling these people that the light within you, and all the wonderful things that we know now,
Yeah,
that's
one quote that I heard this from when I used to follow Gerald Clark. He said that Jesus says the kingdom of heaven is within you. Like,
yep, that's
which is like
true.
that's pretty. I can't believe
It's
they let that one get
huge.
through at the Council of
I
Nicaea.
know.
Like I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
like
the Council of Nicaea, yeah.
you know, you think that that's something that they would have definitely omitted, but somehow that slipped through because
Yeah,
that's basically telling you right there that like you don't need to go anywhere. Like the
you
kingdom of
don't.
heaven is whatever you
Is
believe
within
is
you.
in heaven is within you. You know.
That's right. You don't have to go through a priest, certainly not in this day and age, because the word priest has been like, unfortunately, the whole PDF thing involved with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Historical, horrible. And the nuns and the burying the babies in Ireland, it's just horrible.
It's actually
Yeah,
it's to a point of disgust because what like it's
yeah,
this is another thing before we this is really important because it's like
yeah,
somehow we've let people go into positions of power in our society. I mean, and it's like the
yeah,
craziest, not even position of power, but like leadership roles, like Boy Scout leaders, PDF files, like priests,
yeah,
PDF files, like some
yeah,
baseball coaches and shit like that, PDF files. You know what I mean? It's like these
yeah,
people get into leadership roles and then
yeah.
they totally corrupt, and then you almost have to think, well, were these people mind controlled that like caused them to behave this way, or like
I think it's
what
by design. I think it
you
is
know?
by design. I think the Freemasons have their little dibs in a lot of different areas, right?
Yeah,
That's my
yeah, absolutely.
opinion. And notice it's always like it's like boys or men who are, Boy Scouts, da 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 da. And there's that
Yeah.
whole, not to say that the it's now coming out. There's a lot of PDFs who are women as well. The
Yeah,
school teachers who are going after little boys. It's just like, what the hell? That needs to have a good look at as well, because it's like they can come in all shapes and sizes. And they
yeah,
get close
absolutely.
to your kids. How do they get access though? I don't know. We can go to so many different areas, but you're not afraid to question things like me. Like, what about this? What about that?
I
A lot
think
of
we
people
have to,
cannot.
especially in today's day and age,
Yeah,
because like we're being lied to on so many different fronts. It's hard to discern what's true. And this is where people's discernment comes into play. And this is where us coming to our abilities comes into play. Because if we're coming into our
yeah,
abilities, we should all
yeah,
be able to discern more. And if we're all discerning more that things are fucked up and corrupt here, then they most likely are. And
yeah.
we're not the crazy ones, like the normies are
No,
actually the crazy ones now because like
yeah,
they're not seeing through the veil, but like we're seeing
no,
through the veil on many levels. We're seeing through the veil on a supernatural level, on an
yeah,
ET level, on a political
yeah,
level. You know what I mean? And like they
yeah.
can't see that.
Well, that's the thing that I thought, like, we are actually seeing things in a multidimensional level. So you're
Yeah.
you're you're doing what I sort of do, like, and the fact that they're saying, like, ADHD or autism, apparently I'm AUDHD or whatever they wanna put me in,
Damn.
like, yeah, it's just ridiculous, like, but I
That's like
can
this,
see.
did you ever hear this, like, with the LGBT community? No offense to
Yeah,
anybody who's gay or anything, but it's like LGBTQ plus AYA, and I'm like, "What?
yeah.
What is
Where
this?"
does
I'm
it
like,
stop?
"Yeah, I know." It's like,
Like,
"What
it used
is?"
to just be like, gay people and, they had partners and it was all a part of that, and now it's kind of morphed into something else, you can be pan, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. Yeah, I
You
know.
know,
It's a topic
I'm
it's
an
a
old
topic I
school, I'm
can't
like,
really have expertise on, but it's just like, where does it stop? That they do say that that is a part of it, right? Because it's like, LBGTQI P, what's the P for, plus,
I don't
plus,
know. That's
plus,
crazy. Is that what
it's
it
not
is? Is
like,
that what I don't even know.
well,
Like,
that's what they're trying to say. Like, there's a whole area called MAPS, right? Minor attracted people, right? That's it. Oh my
I just took a
God.
couple hits
Like,
of
they're
my
trying
weed
to
pen.
normalize that.
I just took a
They're
couple
trying
of hits
to
of my weed pen, so I'm sorry. Like,
they just have you need to have a few hits on your thing. That's okay. 420 friendly. I do
yeah.
think that they actually, while we're on that subject, let's talk about 420. That's what we can call it. I do believe a lot of people in our area. I do think um that complex PTSD, one of the things that Mother Nature has given us is the cannabis plant. I do
Oh,
believe that
absolutely.
there, yeah, I think it actually helps with the mind control and I don't know. I just think back in the day there used to be apothecaries, right? And most of the medicines were actually cannabinoids in the apothecary. And that whole about 1930, 1920, when the pharmacological industry was coming in and using sort of the base of petroleum products, right?
Yeah,
Um,
but I just wanna say that so
yeah,
your channel doesn't get banned. This is all for
yeah.
entertainment and education purposes
Okay,
only.
thank you.
I was joking around when I said I hit my weed pen. I really didn't, but I did, but I didn't, but
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
right.
But but anyway, this is
Thank you so much. I have to be so careful because I have had one. I'm already being looked at. You know what I mean? It's fine. Thank you for the validation.
yeah,
But
so
with
guys, for YouTube, this is
entertainment
for
purposes
entertainment
only.
purposes only, and we're
Yes.
not giving any medical advice, legal advice.
No.
Always be a professional, and, I think that
Yes.
covers everything, but I mean,
I like
yeah,
it.
but
Allegedly, they say that the apothecaries were, yeah. Okay.
well, that's one thing
Entertainment.
that's helped me a lot is Amanita.
Yeah.
I have, like, one of my affiliates are Amanita, and, like, but, like, like, it's the plant of Amanita mushroom is, like,
Yeah.
helped me, like,
It's hurt
I
me
don't know.
too. Yeah.
It's interesting, like, it's like, and I believe cannabis, like, is like, it's amazing,
It is.
I
It's really good for you. There is a lot of people in our area that do. I know that they, it's medicinal. Okay,
yeah,
right? Okay, but it just. I think everything in moderation, right? You're not to
yeah,
overdo anything, but that you
absolutely,
give that to the person their own. It's like giving the person answers and power to have choices within themselves, right? And I think that's all
absolutely.
changing. In Australia, I don't think you can get the Amanita. Like, you have the sprays and stuff that you sell on your show, but
Y-
I don't
y-
think you can get it here. But allegedly, a friend of mine, a friend of mine, gave me some, like, Amanita, right? And it was really
Nice.
good for my brain. It was like bliss. I only had a little bit, but it was like blissful and it was really good. And it's rewires your brain. Like, Mother Nature is not going to
Like,
give
it puts
you,
you in a flow state, like, you can get into a flow
yeah,
state off it,
yeah. And like
like,
a lot of people, like, who they, because I'm a psychic medium and I work in that realm, it's all like, you have to be Puritan, la, la, la. And I'm not into like synthetics or
yeah,
heavy drugs or anything like that. But like
yeah,
the herbal kingdom, I do believe there are answers there that the certain pharmacological industry does not give the answers
another
for.
good one that I
Yeah,
like a lot is, like, Blue
allegedly.
Lotus. allegedly Blue
Yeah.
Lotus, like
Yeah. A friend of mine has that, and I had some. It was pretty good. It was like Damiana, the herb Damiana.
I love
So it's
Damiana.
very,
That's like a
yeah.
miracle herb,
I love Damiana. It's beautiful. It's really good for you. It's about rewiring your brain, right? Okay. Missing time goes 24/7. And 24/7. I'm like in moderation, 24/7. I like these dances like the older I get, the further back in time my interests are going. Apothecary medicine, apocryphy, plants seem important. The world is magic. Yes, it is. And I think it's about bringing it back to the human beings, our connection back to nature, to the trees, to nature, to the natural world. And, every time I telepath with, I know, a rock, an insect, a Sasquatch, a different fae in that realm, they always say to me, you are out of balance. Tell everyone your human population is out of balance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You froze for like a second there.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's like the ETs say that too. It's like the Sasquatch
Yeah,
say that, the Bigfoot say that. They're like,
they do.
they're like, it's like they said like the common thing with abductees is they would report that the aliens would tell them that like we're
Yeah.
we're we're messing up our planet, that we're like destroying
Yeah.
our planet, and that was like a
Yeah.
common theme over and over with the
Yeah.
ETs for some reason.
And they're still saying it to me when it was it was constant. You are out of balance. I'd have a praying mantis, and they were telling me about the towers and everything, the 6G towers. That video I did it once, but then it wouldn't upload. It won't upload now to this day and age for what the praying mantis said. It was warning humanity, and it was talking about its skin. And how even its skin is warming up when it gets closer to the towers. Talking about radiation, right?
Like it can cook you.
It can cook you, basically. You have to be very careful. And in fact, I started taking far out. I forgot the name of it, but it was to counteract the radiation. Maybe I'm being stopped from saying it because it's like, I'm providing ideas about medicinal things. But anyway, I think that in itself will get you flagged. Just talking about that in itself is just outrageous. We can't talk about natural things on our planet that help people. What?
I mean, I think if you're talking about it in an educational way, it's okay. Like you just can't.
Iodine.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think we can talk about like heavy use of it or something like that. Like, and I think we're good because I think we are talking about it in an educational way. We're not telling anybody to go use it. We're not like like we're not. Yeah. I don't know.
Do you worry about, the thought came into my mind then because it's a big topic now, the data centers going up, and all the water.
I am worried about
I worry
that.
about it.
Because it's like that, and they're importing the flock cameras too, and it's like I've said this so many times, but I feel like it's like an Orwellian dystopian reality that like we're just like we're going full speed ahead into, and it's like we never had a say so in the matter. Nobody ever told us they were going to start putting up flock cameras. Nobody ever told us that they were going to start popping up data centers, and they're all over the place all of a sudden. Like it's already like they've already been built and they're functioning. It's like what? It's like no one even knew. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like I don't know. It's like I have one friend that Amanda Jonah Park. She kind of fights against them. She's in court, but like.
That's
I think
great.
we need more people. We need more people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the rest of the human population, can't we do some big, what do they call it when everyone jumps in on a court case? I should know this. But there's a term. Anyone know any legal terms?
It's a class action lawsuit.
Class action lawsuit. That's what needs to happen because we didn't get any say in this. All right. But then again, we've got the corruption of the system where even if it goes through court, there will be a barrister who's getting, paid in the back pocket. And because like that seems to be, it's all through the system. It's corruption everywhere. So how do we change this? We have to, unfortunately, sometimes we have to do things that are deemed as illegal in our reality, right? To actually fight the system. So those people taking it into their own hands with the flock cameras, allegedly, entertainment purposes.
I hope we didn't say anything that's going to get you in trouble. I don't want to get. I honestly don't want to
think so.
If you have to, just edit it out. You can. You go in like
it's
YouTube,
live now. The thing is, it's live. Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is you can always go into the YouTube editor and like edit out anything. It's real easy to use. It's like
You
you
have
just
to
go.
help me with this, Rob. You've told me, right, that you're gonna help me do the stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah, I'll help you
you're
for
just
sure.
so
Yeah.
busy. You're so busy that we haven't sat down together, because I think Missy also wants to come in and do it, because we get a bit like overwhelmed with the whole StreamYard thing. Like right now I can't see any comments on Facebook and stuff like that.
Yeah, that they
Yeah.
you have sometimes you have to go over to Facebook, like, you just kinda have to, like, just let that go because it will never show up, and they'll never give you a reason
Right.
why. So, like, what you
Really?
have to do is just go over to Facebook. It's like when I stream to Rumble, because I always stream to YouTube, Facebook, and Rumble. When I stream to Rumble, like, I don't get a lot of the Rumble comments a lot
No.
of the time.
Yeah.
So I have to, like, open up the Rumble tab, so I'll have, like, a
Like
Rumble tab,
separate.
you know?
How's your computer going now? Is it still
I mean,
cracked, or is
I'm on the one. Someone was really nice and sent me like it was like a cheap one, like and like I'm using that to stream on, and then I have my old one that I can do work on, and then I have my phone
yeah.
too. So I mean, like I'm okay, but I mean, like I don't have like the most up to date technology or anything. You know what I mean? I wish, but I'm not. If I was balling or something, like, but I mean, like, I'm gonna hopefully, get I'm gonna just get
I
something
gave you
better.
that message on book messenger of the screen. Did you get that message that I sent you? Like it's
What?
like
No,
this.
what was it? I don't know why I
I
didn't
want
see
to.
that.
It's a really yeah. Do sometimes think like my messages are not actually going through to certain people. I don't get a lot of messages from that people want a session with me anymore until weeks later it will turn up. So they're
Well,
financially targeting me through my. So that's why I'm like, I'm just going to do a podcast. Like I've
yeah,
tried so many different things. I wanted to get to a point. Yes. So there's these cheap, like they're only like $50, $60, and you just plug them into your laptop, and then you'll have three different screens. I'm thinking about getting it. So you'll get a monitor that you can have, Rumble over here, something over here, and something over there. So anyway, Rob's
that's
available
cool.
for consultations, aren't you now? I want to let
Yeah,
people know
yeah.
about that.
I actually did one successfully. I guess you could say so. Like it was like more like informal, and maybe that's the way this is gonna go. Like so, what
Yeah.
happened is I had someone email me, and he said he had some questions, and then I
Yeah.
went into detail and answered those questions. They were all about all
Great.
different stuff. Like they ranged from like technical podcasting stuff to like Project Oblivion and targeting questions.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I just answered him back as best as I could, and like I sent it back, and I said, if you want to send a donation, you can. And he sent a
Yeah.
small donation afterwards. I guess he was happy with what I told him, but like, so
That's
like
great.
I had my first successful, I guess you could say, consultation.
Yeah.
I mean, like I was, it was kind of cool. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's good. Like you've got experience in the area, so
Yeah.
you have expertise. That's what I learned when I was working as an art therapist, right?
It's not just
Um,
that I have like podcasting experience, but like also in this community with all these subjects we talk about. Like
yeah,
I've been doing this for 7 years. Like, so like
yeah,
I can almost go in on any subject, but like except maybe not flat
yeah,
earth as much. Those
yeah.
flat earthers are amazing. You ever hear some of the stuff they prove? They're like the earth is actually shaped at this centimeters, and they get down to like all these weird, like, you know what I mean? It's
Look,
like crazy. And then
I
you're like, wait a
actually,
minute.
when I
Yeah.
have these beings that I talk to, back when I was doing a lot of telepathy, the Cosmic Collective, and I asked them outright, and they said there are some physical laws of the universe that are set. And that is the fact that most planetoids are heliocentric. I mean, it's pretty academic what they said, right? And it
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. There are some fixed set laws of the universe. There are some physics that we don't completely understand. I'm actually a believer in, only because I've talked to the Argathan beings, right?
Yeah.
That there is an inner earth, like an inner world, right? I do believe that, yeah, if I hadn't
You
had the
know, you
experiences with the Argathans, then I wouldn't believe it. But yeah,
You've had to, yeah, and then so
yeah,
that's supposedly that's like near the Antarctica part of the world, I guess,
yeah,
and then over by Mount Shasta, California, there's Telos,
yeah,
which is I guess that's the inner
yeah,
Earth. There is Telos, it's called. Like it's a, I don't know
yeah,
if that. It seems like that and the Agarthan civilizations are a little bit different, but like still both
yeah.
inner Earth civilizations.
Yeah, because I think that we don't understand that it's like the TARDIS, like, and it's very similar to UFOs. If anyone's been an experiencer, you'll see a small shaped UFO, like maybe like a silver, and then you go inside, and it's a huge, big stadium inside. The similar thing is with the inner Earth, right? So you'll go in, and there's so many stories of it. The Smoky God is a really good story. Back in 1880, before Admiral Byrd experience of flying the plane over and seeing the tropics. So you'll see the tropics, and there's like woolly mammoth and stuff, and then they go in. It's like you go inside, you get taken in, and they're very discerning about who comes in and what. Yeah, so I felt very privileged that I had an Argathan come and speak to me, basically saying
Whoa,
that
that's
same
dope.
thing. Right? Yeah.
That's fucking awesome though. Like like
Yeah.
who can say that they've talked to an art? That's amazing. Did you ever hear the story? Like there was an Art Bell episode of this. It was like he did it
Yeah.
in 2001, which was kind of impressive because not many people were talking about this then. He had this kid on
Yeah.
named Dallas Thompson, and supposedly this kid Dallas Thompson, he was gonna fly a mini helicopter into inner Earth. It's like a whole
Yeah.
episode. He
Really.
wrote this book called My Cosmic Manuscript. He was like really spiritually advanced. Like he lived in
Really.
Hawaii, and he was like being mentored by this kahuna, and then the kahunas like land,
Oh,
they tried to raid the kahuna's land, and then they end up killing the kahuna. And so like Dallas
what?
comes back to the United States, and he like is like really like spiritually advanced, and he feels like he has this mission to go to inner Earth. So he was going to
Yeah.
literally fly this, like they showed a picture of it. If you look at some of the old, I guess like Art Bell was on radio, but like fans had sent in the picture of like
Yeah.
what the thing looked like that he was going to oh, I almost knocked over a microphone.
So it
What
was
this thing was
Dallas
going to
on
look like.
Art Bell's show. Is that right?
Yeah, it's Art Bell. It's
God.
called like Into the Hollow Earth with Dallas Thompson. It's a
Oh my
fascinating episode.
God. I
It's
so
fun.
want to
Yeah.
listen to that. And so what happened? So he had a plane. Did he end up successfully going in?
I don't think he ever went, but like it's weird. Like I like there's no trace of him because I've tried to contact him for like because I wanted to try to find out like what's he doing now. It's like 20
Yeah.
years later. Did he ever go to inner Earth or what? But he's
Yeah.
like totally off the map. Like you can't find him
Yeah.
anywhere on the internet.
Yeah.
And I think there's a copy of his book still available on Amazon, but like there's no trace of him.
I
You
kind of
know?
get the feeling that he had to sign an NDA and he got threatened. Of course he got threatened. These
Yeah.
subjects are highly volatile, and there's certain people that want to keep these things secret. I don't think the secrets can be kept anymore. I think with all the corruption coming out, I do believe that the secrets and the history of our planet are coming out into the morphogenetic field of the planet. And some people are just going to get downloads and just talk about it. But I also think that it's going to become on a wider scale publicly, all this information. The history of the planet is not as what we know already about. I'm kind of, sometimes when I talk like this, I feel a little bit channely. Like I sort of hear sentences coming in to say, and that's not V2K, that's my higher self. There is a
Yeah.
difference, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. It's like you're
Cool.
getting you have a good connection to your higher self where you can just kind of pull in
Yeah.
messages like that pretty
Yeah.
fast.
And I
You know?
notice when I've talked publicly, I'm looking like directly at you, but sometimes I'll kind of look to the right and left. It's like I cock my ear up here to kind of get
That's
you.
common with psychics. A lot of psychics that
Right.
come on my show, I've noticed do that. Like, and a lot of
Right.
people I've asked about that, and a lot of people told me that like that's
Yeah.
where the channel's coming through, right? That's like
Yeah. It's
supposedly.
exactly right. It's like for me, spirit comes through on the right side. So and that's always been when I talk to past on loved ones, and when I was working more in that medium sort of setting, they come through standing on my right here. But when I'm doing multidimensional clearings with people and we've got to go to the in between worlds, I get them to stand on my left side and we go, yeah. So it's about working with your own abilities. The more you do it, the better you get at it, basically. It's like a muscle that you have to build for
Yeah.
you understand, all these things coming at you, you can go, in fact, try this. Just give love and compassion, even though they just seem so dark and so
Yeah.
demonic. You just give as much love and compassion because you've got a good heart. I can sense your heart. You've got a good heart.
Great.
You use your heart and send the love out. Think of the most cutest little, kitten, and maybe close loved ones of yours, giving them a big hug, and you send all that love out to them, and they disintegrate or get pushed into the other dimension. It's quite incredible. I'm glad I
That is.
shared that story the other day. Okay, there's a few little questions, but are you I don't think we've got everyone's saying great show. Yeah.
I'm okay. I mean, whenever you want to go, it's fine with me. Like I can,
we can chat all night. I know that. We can talk about so many things. We can have a chat after. But any more questions? I think we're all good. Yeah, I love people who are diverse on their knowledge. Guy is one of them and has a fabulous voice and sense of humor. Don't know who that is. Yes, Chloe, it is all coming out in the various ways, and people are starting to come to their own realizations the last 2 months. So many ebbs and flows, I believe, too. It's actually positive. When I see all the things coming out, it gives me hope. It gives me hope. People, I do believe, don't get stuck into the drama of all the chaotic things that are coming out. Be the observer. Go, yes, here we are, the clown show, the drama. See through it, but, be strong within yourself. That's my advice. What do you think?
I agree. I was looking at this question from Terry. She says, "Rob, have you read Radu Cinemar's books of the Peter Moon published?" I know the name of it's called Transylvania Sunrise, but I don't know enough. I haven't read the whole thing, but I interviewed Peter Moon, but I can't find a copy of the interview, and he won't do interviews anymore. So it's like, I don't know.
Right.
I wish I could find that Peter Moon interview I did, because I would republish it, because it's more relevant now, because I guess he had ties to Preston Nichols, which ties into the Montauk Project.
Did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know
again,
that
there's another piece of the jigsaw puzzle again, right? And even my story with my father having been trained in unethical hypnosis, my father also made amplifiers, speakers, like Preston Nichols was into. So what is it about the speakers? There's a thing with that, and the music. My father was a musician. I'm a musician. There's a musical thing as well. It's just weird.
What do you think it is? Do you think it's like programming through the music? Like,
I kind of feel like it's not programming. It's I mean, obviously that's what they have used, unfortunately, because when you listen to music, you're kind of in a different state of consciousness, so you're more susceptible to programming. But I can just write out. I telepath. So I do believe it's connection to higher self when it's in its most positive, right? So you'll get musicians and artists were all channelers, right? So I think that's why I'm so good at the telepathy, because I'm a channeler already. I'm channeling art, I'm channeling music. So I just write out. I can just play the piano, and I haven't been taught. So I play the piano and I just get the whole song come through, verses, lyrics. So it's like it is a connection to a higher state of consciousness, but unfortunately, it has been used militaristically to program. So we know that the whole Laurel Canyon. Have you heard of that? That place? In California, America, and they have a place where a lot of people were getting programmed, and Jim Morrison was a part of that because his father was a part of the Bay of Pigs and and all these families that have military ties. So that's the music part. It's being used and hijacked for nefarious uses, right? For programming. Because they all know about predictive programming, so you can predictively program a certain thing, even if you're not aware of it. But I think that's what the Simpsons thing is about too, right?
Oh, and then the Simpsons thing is spooky, isn't it? Isn't it weird?
Yeah. It's totally weird. So I'm thinking, does he have access? I do believe looking glass tech, right? So the ability to see into the future. But then it's just, is it predictive programming, or they have? For me, I feel like they have the technology, right?
I think they. I think it's sometimes they put it in our face like it's a game. It's like not. It's not. It's obviously it's obviously a big joke to them. Like, because think about like things they do. It's crazy, right? Like Eyes Wide Shut, like that Kubrick film. Eyes Wide Shut, you know, it's
But
like
it's crazy, but it makes sense because they want to be the only ones who do these dark rituals and the occult, right? And we're not all about, now that it's been revealed, it's like the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain, you know? Like people cannot fathom the fact that they're connecting to this dark power, and it's all real. The SRA and the, you know,
absolutely.
do I need to mention the blood, blah blah blah, you know, children. It's just unbelievable, the levels like, but it's all coming out, like it's in the mainstream news. And I do wonder, like, what's the next step? They're probably laughing, going, oh, ha ha ha,
you know
we've
it's so
told you.
crazy. You know it's so crazy to see how many people were tied to E. You know, ep, you know,
Oh
whatever.
yeah,
Like how
and
many
the
people, when
layers of that.
those files came out and some of the
Yeah.
names came out and some of the shit they were doing, it was like, this is insane.
Yeah,
You
well,
know?
the whole laboratory thing underneath that island, that's the
Yeah.
next thing. And I think her name's Rachel. I keep on forgetting her name. I really got to look it up. But she was actually mentioning, she's from South Africa. She's got quite a bit of complex PTSD, quite highly targeted. I think she lives in New York, around that area, maybe. And she actually talked about seeing reptilians in like a baby farm. That's what I
What?
mean. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so she's like, Epstein's like the surface level HT, you know,
Yeah.
all of that stuff. And then it goes deeper. So we have to get to the depths of it, I think. I think
Like
that's what's happening.
I know Sean
Yeah.
Atwood had talked about like the cloning, and he even had like Arkeem Ron. And I was surprised that Sean Atwood had Arkeem on, but like I was
Yeah.
happy for Arkeem. But like they went into like deep on there. But like when you go
Yeah.
to like seeing reptilians, that's like, you know,
Yeah. So she said she
that's like
observed
James Bartley
reptilian.
territory. You know, that's like that's
Yeah,
like
and
next level.
there's a lady called Rachel Vaughan in Australia who's got cult affiliations, and strangely enough, the genetic bloodline of Kennedy as well as me, right?
Yeah.
Um, and she's now talking about that topic. She's like, I didn't want to tell everyone because it was enough to talk about the cult thing
Yeah.
and the SRA and child videos,
Yeah.
videos, right? A lot of stuff she talks about. But then she went to that layer of talking about recently seeing reptilians as well. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's all linked. That's what I'm
They're
saying.
definitely here, you know. I feel like they've been here for a long time. Like, because if you go back
Yeah.
to like the legends of like Credo Mutwa talked about when David
Yes.
Icke went to Africa and he interviewed Credo
Yeah.
Mutwa in the 90s, and
Yeah.
like Credo
Yeah.
talked like, about this whole like reptilian, you
Yeah.
know, it's basically like the story of the Anunnaki, but it's like it's like okay, so it's maybe like those people in Samaria,
Yeah.
and which would be in modern day Iraq, Iran, were dealing with the Anunnaki, but it seemed like the people in the Africa were dealing with the reptilians, like as far as like
Yeah.
ancient aliens goes, because like
Did
there's
he
that.
call them something else? He called them the Nagas or something, didn't he? Credo Mutwa? Was it the
Um,
Nagas?
that's a good question.
I don't know the name of it, but they have a different name. But basically, they're talking about the same beings, right? That
yeah.
have been behind the scenes controlling our reality since pre-Babylonian times. I think after the flood, I think that's maybe when the fall of Lemuria and Atlantis. I think that they had dibs in that. I think that they had some. I think it was a takeover. I don't know. I'm kind of picking up on that as we're talking. It's kind of coming to me as a bit of information. I do believe that they had some doing with the fall of Atlantis and Lemuria. I think that's when they took over, and it was like flood, and then when we're reseeding and new agriculture, new continents are coming up, and then that's when they went, all right, here we are. Now you will do what we say. What's your
Yeah.
thoughts?
That
Yeah.
that makes sense, you know. You know, maybe it was like the Anunnaki and the reptilians, and that's where we get this like, I don't know, like these I don't know, like these people that are like Anunnaki reptilian bloodline, like I don't know, like
Yeah. I
I
mean, you
don't
could
know.
say that I'm bloodline. Like I've got that Kennedy and the royal, there's like royal
Wait, you
family
have a
stuff.
connection to Kennedy?
Well, yeah, my grandfather on my father's side is a Kennedy, so it's bloodline, not through
What?
marriage, but
A
through a
Kennedy? No
child.
way. For real?
That's why that well, yeah, well, that's why my father had the affiliation, right? And was given that position because he was
Whoa.
bloodline, and so he's a 33-degree Mason. And that's
Holy
another
shit.
that's another connection as well. We never really went into it, like, but yeah, I've talked about it on other shows for some reason. I think you just don't have the time and space to talk about that. There's just so much of it, right? So
Yeah.
Rachel Vaughan also has that connection too with the Kennedy family and the cults, and it's like, eh, their time is up. There are good members like who are part of that, even though they are bloodline. They're like coming out, speaking out, whistleblowing, which is fantastic. It's just bloodline. I'm not affiliated. I don't have, like, if I was a special, like in that regard, I'd probably be very rich right now, have my own house, a job in a high position. Come on, guys. You know what I mean?
Wow.
God. Yeah.
I think this was a great show. I think someone
Yeah.
came in and someone said to them that they missed a great show. So I was like, wow,
It's okay.
that's
You
like
can
the
look
comments
back
I
at
like
it.
to get, you know?
So I think Jason was putting up your detail. I think most people are subbed on your channel anyway. So do you want to tell people, like maybe there's a few that don't know about or checked out? So he's just put your YouTube page up here.
Yeah, and then you can
Uh,
also follow me on Rumble at Typical Skeptic Podcast. Follow me on Spotify. You can follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, and I don't. That's about it. I don't use X. I mean, I'm on X, but I don't use it that much. And then I'm also on Substack. You can follow me on Substack, and if you want to support the channel, you can donate. And there's that's
yeah.
listed on every video. And that yeah.
Yeah.
This was awesome,
Fantastic.
Chloe. Thanks. Like
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this. For
Yeah,
real.
thank you. It seems to be I'm doing these 2 hours. We've got to the 2 hour time now. So we go
Yeah.
into depth and sort of explore. It seems to be I'm the long sort of winded. Like if you're gonna
What
go
was
on,
funny
if
is that
I'm
like an hour in, we were about to end the show, and then it's
I
just like
know.
like a whole
Yeah.
other hour. Like
I know. Well, I wasn't sure. Like I thought that you might be a bit tired. So I thought, okay, maybe we'll round it up now. You know what I
No,
mean?
it's
But
okay.
yeah.
I had fun. I really did. It was cool. I thought this
Yeah.
was really cool.
Okay, well, say goodbye to everyone and you stay on after. Okay, thanks everyone for turning up and get on to Rob's show and channel, which I think most of you are already. But yeah, okay, bye.